I know, it's
And
great.
whoever thought that at this point in my life, after the success I've had, that I'd be looking for a job. But
Crazy. You know,
hey, I'm young at heart and lots of skills, and if that's what it takes.
We'll bring you on over, Mary. We'll bring you on over.
Justin's hiring, so he's our plan B. If
there you go.
Okay, great.
And Joe, how are you?
I am doing well. Doing well.
Good.
I was going to start outside, but the next door neighbor is mowing his lawn.
Oh, that's the way it goes some of the time. Well, thank you all for joining. So we'll give a couple minutes for some people to join, and just so you kind of have a quick overview of how we'll do this as a presenter. When you start, go ahead and just tell us your name and your company and title. Give us a quick overview of what you do. And then take 7 minutes or so. We're not going to be like super strict on the time, and show us around. Have some fun with it. Put your unique spin on it, however you want. We'll ask everyone to mute themselves so that way when you're speaking, it will just have your screen as the primary focus for everybody. And then when we're done, so we have 4 cribs we're going to take a look at, and you can take off if you need to at the half-hour mark. Or you can stay. We just have some good conversation and discussion after. And so I'm sure some people will probably have some questions for you as they get to know you a little bit better. And so if you want to stick to the top of the next hour, then that'd be great. But totally up to you guys. We won't take offense, okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
Good. So I'm excited to see your cribs. And Mary, tell me a little bit more about yourself. I've like I said, I've wanted to get to know you for a long time, and so I'd love to know a little bit more of your story. And I mean, you're on 1,000 different boards, and I'm becoming good friends with Tiffany Peterson, and she just speaks so highly of you. And I've seen you guys speak together a few times, and so I'd just love to hear a little bit more about your story.
Well, I spent 35 years as the founder and CEO of my company, Culinary Crafts. Mm-hmm. And I worked so hard in the hospitality industry and built that company up. And then when I retired at 65, which is now a year and a half ago, I sold it to my children, and they were just being rock stars and like taking what I did and taking it to the moon. And then of course we hit COVID. So wow, who knows what's next for them. But before I actually retired, I launched another company called Mary Crafts Inc. And I do speaking, podcasts, life coach, business consulting. I just finished my first book, which I'm very excited about. And so I've kind of launched a whole new career. The hardest part has been unhooking myself from the hospitality industry and hooking myself to that motivational life coaching, mentoring business. But once people get to know me, they recognize a badass that can help them.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I love it. Great. Well, thank you, Mary, for sharing that. So I think that we'll go ahead and get started. We'll probably have some people that'll be trickling in, and so we'll just let them catch what they want to. But out of respect for your time, we'll kind of get started. And so, Justin, do you want to be the lucky guy to kick this off for us?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So everybody else, go ahead and mute yourself. Justin, tell us about yourself, and then show us your crib.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Justin Severson. I work for a company called Paylocity. I've been working there for 3 years now, and we're a tech company that specializes in the payroll and HR space. So we've been lucky enough to help a lot of the companies here in Salt Lake area when it comes to their payroll and HR needs. So when I came on this, I started watching MTV Cribs and thought that I needed to do something a little special. So give me 2 seconds. I have my video man here. And so I'm going to go get ready for the part. He's going to knock on the door, and we're just going to do it like MTV Cribs style. 1 second. Somebody want to flip the camera? All right. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yo, welcome, MV Cribs. Justin Severson here. I am so excited and so happy to show you what we have. First, before I show you the house, I got my little guy here. This is JJ. JJ, say hi to everyone. We're gonna start off with the whips. So follow me. So the first car that we're going to show you may look familiar from the show Sour Chatter. This is what I like to call Big Red. This is the truck that still gets me from point A to point B. May look somewhat familiar. Now this is what I like to call my Black Stallion. You know, when we're on the farm, 5 in the morning trucking hay, this is what we like to use. Get the job done on the farm. Move over to my next car, Honda Accord. Special. Now this is when summer nights come into Salt Lake City, driving down State Street, the top's down. This is what I like to call my White Lightning. This is the BMW 328i series. So whenever you're looking to have fun, getting a little pink slip racing in, that's what we like to use. Keep on coming. This is what I like to call the zombie apocalypse. So when we need to pack the family up, go on long road trips, it feels like a zombie apocalypse inside. This is the car that we like to use. And then last but not least, this is the Ghost Rider. This is where we take it around town, go to the store. And then as you can tell, my little boy, that's his favorite car right there. It's the Polaris Razor. So let's go. Let's jump inside. Now we need to speed it up like they do on cribs. You know, we gotta hurry. All right. By the way, this is Harriman, Utah, coming live at you. So inside, we're first meted by our guard dogs here. This here is Clyde. He's I don't even know what breed he is, but he's a junkyard dog. Sure. This here's Nazo, as you can tell, the big lap dog here. And for all the viewers out there, you wouldn't be rolling in it unless you had a Nintendo 64 here. So obviously, we have people playing it. We have the TV for the Netflix, for the Comcast. It's a nice little setup. But one of the best parts about this house is getting ready to happen. Please follow me. We live up in Rosecrest and Harriman. The best part about this house is the big deck and the wonderful view. You got Thule over there. You can see downtown. You see like 3 different temples here. You got Utah County over there. We can kind of spy into the neighbors' yards if we want. Very cool. Now I remember someone was showing on cribs the different grills they have. So we have the 2 Traegers here. We have the regular gas grill. We have a pizza oven. So if you ever want to do pizzas, we can come on over. We'll cook some pizzas here. We'll take it back inside. Don't forget, you got to Germex these hands. Okay. One of the best parts about this house, a lot of people come, say, hey, we want to come to your house. We want to get a nice cold drink. Where's the ice? Please. Nugget ice. Best part. Everyone comes over for that. So the last piece that I'm going to show you is the working from home space. This is where, you know, I go to help the companies go make the deals. Follow me downstairs in the basement. Forewarning, best place in the house, not finished, totally good with that. Let's go. First, it wouldn't be an office unless you had your own fridge in there. And obviously, you got to keep it stocked. Favorite drink, Diet Dr. Pepper. A good wake me up is Bang. Obviously, the protein drinks here. Now, fun fact about having an office that's not finished, you can practice your baseball swing. So you can swing left-handed, or if you like to golf, I golf right-handed and swing left-handed in baseball. A little weird, interesting. Now, here's a temporary desk. My brother-in-law, who's actually filming, give you a shout out to good old Harrison there. He was serving a mission in Brazil, and he had to come home because of the COVID-19. So he's been out a year. We're still trying to figure out what the next steps are, but temporary setup right here. We have the desk. We have the 2 monitors set up. Makes life so much easier. You got to have something going in the background from a TV perspective. Now here's a fun game that me and Harry's been playing with this forearm. I don't even know what it's called. It's a little forearm machine. We're writing down every day just to get better, because that's our main goal. Get better, 100%. We're going to keep having those numbers go up. While you're working on a conference call, what we like to do, we have the Xbox set up. We got the PS4. That really helps focus on those conference calls when you're trying to pay attention. Just hook up NBA 2K20. Last thing that I'm going to show you guys, the putting green. Severson Country Club. And I'm going to end this video with a putt that's going to go in while looking in the camera. Got it. Okay. That is my crib, ladies and gentlemen.
Best crib ever.
That was so good, man. Holy cow. Okay, so you got to tell us, like, those are not all your cars, right? Like, how many neighbors did you have come over and
Okay,
drop the car off?
Here's the disclosure. This is my temporary crib. So this is my in-laws' house. Me and the wife are currently building a house in Riverton. My sister-in-law's over here right now. So we have my in-laws' cars, my brother-in-law's cars, my sister-in-law. So yeah, those are definitely not my cars. I just had to do it because that's MTV Crib style.
Yeah. And the chains, the rings, the rope, dude, you just know how to bring it.
I even have ice on the wrist that, I mean, yeah, we were just trying to do it. We were trying to go big.
You did, man. That was awesome. So seriously, how many people come over for the ice? That is like, what a cool thing. Like, I haven't seen other people have.
So, dude, honestly, like, people will come barter with us. Say, hey, we'll give you loaves of bread if we can steal a bag of ice. And so those nuggets ice, that's been the best thing. That's my favorite thing in the morning. Fill that up with the water, crunch on it all day. It's awesome.
That's cool. You need toilet paper. You're like, I'll trade you for ice. And
I know that's for real. Toilet paper, formula. We'll take whatever right now.
Justin, you're the man. Thank you so much for showing us your crib. We'll move on to the next. Joe, it looks like you're outside. Are you ready to show us your crib?
I'm ready, except following Justin's touch. Justin, man, that was awesome. I left that robe at your house the last time I was there. I need it back.
I know. I'll return it. I'll get it back to you. I had to use it.
The other thing, I got a couple pointers for you on that baseball swing. We could talk after.
Oof. All right, let's do it. I like it.
Yeah, so I'm outside. How could you not be outside? I mean, it is just beautiful. Here, I got to flip this around here.
Yeah, we see the front. You look good.
Okay. Got trees that are blossoming, backyard. Here's what I wanted to show you. So the best thing about our house is the creek that comes down from all the snow melt out of Little Cottonwood Canyon runs through our backyard. All I can show you is a dry creek bed. So we're probably still a week away that this thing starts running. So exciting, but we'll go back inside. Everything else is pretty normal. Got a nice sunroom. All the rest of the house is normal, but I'm going to take you into where all the thinking happens, that home office, which I've used in years past a little bit more regularly, but now with all of this is where I live. So about 7:45 every morning, here's where I bounce down to, and I will show you a handful of things. The first one, how about that wall paint? My wife says that is the most dated, outdated looking wall ever, that they did this back in the 90s, but I think it looks cool, so I keep it. I'm a knife collector. So that's the knife cabinet. you a little peek at some of the knives that I've collected over the years.
Do you have a favorite?
Really from all over the world. Say it again?
Do you have a favorite knife or an interesting story about one of them?
Probably the most interesting thing is just where I've been. So it brings back memories. So that dark-handled one right there, I got in Italy. That scrimshawed one came from Alaska. Some of the Damascus blades have been fun. So the nice thing is you can find a knife shop in any city. So as you travel, it makes for a great thing to bring back as a keepsake. So I took something called the Motivators Assessment, which is a tool that helps you understand what motivates you. And for me, family was the one at the very top. So this is my counter full of family kind of favorite photos. This is what our house tends to look like when all 28 of us get together. It's kind of crazy, and that is as posed as we ever get them. Like if no one, I think one of them's crying, but if no one's crying, we consider that kind of a win. But family is the motivator for me. Here's the most unique thing in my office. Oh, by the way, I'm a Mac guy, so I got my MacBook and iMac. This is the most unique piece that I have. That is a replica of a Gatling gun. So Gatling guns were used in the Civil War. This was built by a guy in Orem, probably about 40 years ago. My dad bought it and gave it to me. And it's made out of walnut and brass and then steel for the barrels. It actually works. It shoots 22 long rifles. So we don't shoot it as much as we just kind of keep it there. Last thing for me, or a couple last things. So bookcase is kind of full of keepsakes and books that have meant a lot to me. Everything on there probably has some meaning to me. There's my great-grandfather's carbide lamp. He was a coal miner. Dog tags from my great-uncle's, he was in World War II. Some of the books. Oh, here we go. Shout out to my business partner, Brad Jensen, who he has a man crush on Patrick Lencioni. And I've never shown him this, but I'll show it to you guys, and then you can. The inscription: Joe, great to spend the day with you and your team. God bless. Pat Lencioni. I think he signs most of his book Patrick Lencioni, but he signs mine Pat Lencioni, just showing how close friends we are. So Brad Jensen, someday you may get to meet him. I'll bring him over to your house.
Oh, you're mine.
A couple other keepsakes. There is a coconut shell from about killed one of. We did a survival trip in the Bahamas and survived on fish and coconuts, and one of our partners got salmonella and lost 14 pounds and almost died. So that's a good keepsake to always remember not to eat a bad coconut. Last thing for me, I'm gonna tell a little story. So little yellow school bus. So made out of metal, tiny little toy. I've had it forever. I have taken it around kind of from job to job. I would keep it in a desk drawer or on a bookcase or somewhere like that. And the importance for me is my grandfather was a school bus driver for 40 years in Western Pennsylvania. And when he got so old that he couldn't drive the school bus, he talked him into keeping him on so he could sweep out the school buses. But oftentimes, we all go through parts of our job where we're just like, man, I don't like what I'm doing, or this, today sucks, or this is just we're just not enjoying what we're doing. And I would take out that little yellow school bus and I would think, if my grandfather, I don't know how much money he made, but they don't pay school bus drivers very much money. If he could do that, if he could trudge out in the snow and pick up kids and take them to school, then you can do what you're supposed to do, Joe, and you got it pretty good, and you work for good company and all those kinds of things. So that's a lesson that's been important to me. Jared, last thing, shout out to you. Jared is a genius when it comes to this kind of stuff. Coming up with shooting cribs and the pickleball networking. You know, we don't get any business revenue out of any of these kinds of things, but Jared just has a way of connecting people. So Jared, thanks for the idea, and thanks for inviting me.
Joe, thanks for showing us your crib. That Gatling gun is crazy cool. The Pat Lancioni book. Oh, this is good. Thank you so much for showing us your crib. We appreciate it. Mary, we will turn it over to you. So Mary Crafts, we're so excited to see your place. Mary's a brilliant speaker and has had an amazing career and is doing some phenomenal things. And so Mary, we'd love to see your crib.
You know, I've been in this crib for about 28 years. I built this house in Spanish Fork, actually, because being a working mom, I wanted to have a safe place that my kids could live and run to the corner drugstore for a hamburger and not drugs. And so we built down here, and I loved it. Even when my kids graduated and have all gone, and this is the crib of a single woman now, I still love to stay here. And so I'm here. People keep saying, why? All your friends live in Salt Lake. What are you still doing in Spanish? And I'm like, I don't know it. I'm originally from Iowa, so I think I'm a small town girl at heart. I drive to Salt Lake most every day. Well, I used to, not anymore. Now I'm in my crib, you know. So I'm going to turn this camera around, and I'm going to switch it horizontally, and I'll see if I can. Did I do it?
We're still seeing you.
Mary, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Spanish Fork is the best city in the world.
It's the bomb. Okay, well, when I built this house, one of the things I wanted was to make sure I had a really fabulous entrance hall. And so I did this great big entrance hall, and I loved it always. But now, instead of using it for an entrance hall, since nobody comes to see me, what I've been doing is just moving this rug. Oh, this is what I call Alexa. I had hand surgery, and now I have Alexa. Woo, woo, woo. Anyway, so I moved this rug, and I do my own private dance parties in here every single day. Up there plays my Google Home, and she plays Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Rachel Patton, Bang Bang. So anyway, this is my formal dining. And of course, being in the food industry, I was all into formal dining, and I really wanted it. But now that no one's coming to see me, it's my COVID-19 space. And so it's where I'm keeping extra toilet paper, extra tissue, extra wipes, all sorts of things like that, because no one's visiting me, and it might as well be my COVID-19 space. All right. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite rooms in my house, and that's what I call my morning room. And it gets the east sun. Before arthritis set in, I used to be quite the piano player. But this room just gets the east sun, and I love it. I sit in here every morning. This is where I do a lot of my meditation and kind of, you know, thinking about things and when I'm going to do my day and plan my day. That's my little chair that I sit in right there. So this is kind of like the morning room. And people say, Mary, aren't you stir crazy? Listen, I live alone here. So I have so many rooms that if I get bored in one, I just move to another, okay? So I don't get bored because it's COVID-19 isolation. This is like where I live. This is my kind of living space. And that is like a really expensive Sony TV up there. And since this isolation started, I learned how to use it. I actually learned how to get the remote controls and learn how to turn it on. I've actually watched TV for the first time in over 30 years since I've been here now. Oh, and this is my sheepskin rug. And over there in that chest are all my kids' books. And so that's for my grandchildren. We sit on that rug in front of the fireplace and do tons of reading every time they come on Sunday. Oh, I want to show you, Chris, outside is looking quite horrible, but it'll give you a vision of what we do out here in the summer. We live out here a lot. There's my pool patio set. Right now we're in the middle of redoing behind the walls to give us some additional space. Pay no attention to this pillar blocking the way. Down there is my outdoor kitchen and entertaining. So for me, a house is a house when you can entertain in it. And that's what I built this house for, was to entertain. And I entertain less now since it's COVID-19, but it doesn't mean that I still aren't just like totally into it. Oh, if you know anything about me, you know my favorite color is animal. And so of course I have to have animal print chairs, right, you know, which surround my.
Those are so you. Those are perfect.
Okay, so this is my Kilimanjaro table. I don't know if you can see this. This is my picture where I summited Kilimanjaro last August. This is my last day in Africa, saying goodbye to the mountain. And one of the local people that carved me this lion. So this still holds a place in my heart. In fact, I've just finished my book. It's called Unbounded, From Sorrow to Summit. And yeah, that's what I've been doing during COVID-19. Breakfast nook area. And oh, this little lovely thing is where I do my Marco Polo. I have a Marco Polo channel I just launched. And so I do that every day, get on and share with people thoughts about joy and fitness and all sorts of things like that. So kitchen. So let me just tell you about how I judge a kitchen. Oh, this is my butler's pantry, but now I call it more my junk pantry. Everything that I didn't know what to do with is now just sitting in here on the counters. And every time people, oh, yes, of course, you do need 2 KitchenAids, every family. They come like, what is all that stuff? I'm like, it's stuff that didn't know where to go. But this is how I judge a kitchen. Every time I went into someone's house, it was how many sugar cookies can you roll out on the counters? So I have this big one here. I have that all over there. I mean, I have a bunch of knickknacks, but during the holidays, and I move it all off, and I have this. I can lay out about 400 sugar cookies at any one time to decorate them, roll them. And we have 14 people here, and that's how I spend. That's like, if I can't roll out 400 sugar cookies, your kitchen's not worth shit to me, just so you know, okay? And of course, gas appliances, blah, 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 mudroom. And yeah, I do have over 100 pair of shoes, and I rotate them in and out of popularity. So, you know, they're just kind of sitting here ready to go out whenever I want to exit into the garage. I'm not showing cars today. But this is something, if you haven't done this and you need an extra staircase, I put this spiral staircase in. It was kind of funky. And, oh, I collect salt and pepper shakers. And I started that when I was about 5 years old. Who knew that I was going to be a caterer and those were actually going to be kind of fun to own. So let's go upstairs on my spiral staircases. Pay no attention, just a bunch of holes here. Here we are, up here, coming up. All right. And so this overlooks the kitchen area. This is the family room where the grandkids hang out. Once again, another big TV that I don't know how to work. And this is kind of just their space. Oh, and another fun thing the grandkids like are these little rooms, these little doors. And they all connect, and you can go in from one to one and one all the way over there. And they love it. Okay, so down the hallway, family, of course, pictures. There's the little Caleb, so cute. Oh, and look at this picture. Any of you who know Ryan and Caleb? I mean, they were just like, I'm telling you what, so cute, huh? Then of course, Megan came along. I mean, this is kind of like my walk of fun here. And I walk down this hall every day. This was Megan's room, which is now spare bedroom, bunk beds, little bathroom. When I built the house, I wanted a house where I could see everybody's bedroom from mine. So I have 4 bedrooms up here, the 1, 2, 3, and mine. So I could walk out and immediately know, where are my kids? The master. So since I'm not a master, I guess we call this my mistress bedroom. I don't know, you know, this is me. Okay.
Oh,
And
you're definitely the master. We bow down to you, Mary.
okay, just just different fun things, and a little meditation chamber for me. And we're not going to go into the closet. No, everyone wants to see in Mary's closet, but we're not going to do that. But check out this bathtub. It can hold me or 7 grandchildren. Okay, I mean, it's massive. It's not your typical soak tub. It's like, let's get in and play with grandma. All right, so coming down here at this end of the hallway, another spare bedroom, but it's also become the home of every piece of memorabilia that I brought home last year when I retired and moved out of culinary crafts. And I'm like, okay, where does that stuff go? I mean, like, where do you put all your awards and memorabilia and stuff like that? I guess you just put it on the floor in a spare bedroom and hope someday you find out where you should be putting it. Last room, this is where the brainchild happens. This is my sit down and reflect chair. And yes, I must have 2 desks. One has my dual monitors, and this is where I write my book and do all sorts of other things. And this one over here is set up ready to go for my podcast with my microphone and such things like that. Now, when this was Caleb's room, and the other room was Ryan's room, and between them, I don't know if you can see this, was this Jack and Jill bath. So they each had a vanity, and then they shared this shower and toilet area, which was great when they were growing up and there were these 2 bedrooms. But now that this room is my guest room, guests think it's kind of creepy that their bathroom is connected to my office. And it is kind of creepy. So anyway, that's my crib, and you can see there's my dance floor again. We're back to up here. That's how I roll, and I can see I have tons of space, so I don't get tired, and I don't get. I'm gonna try and flip this back around here. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, I don't work computers either, but there you go. It's me again.
Mary, I tell you, next time we do this, we need to see you do some dancing on that rug down there.
Oh yeah, baby. Let me put my Lady Gaga on. Bang, bang, bang.
That's right.
And
Mary, thank you.
Dinner party at Mary Crafts. You guys, you have no idea the amazingness of this woman. She is beautiful. She is strong. She's an amazing leader. She's a brilliant mother and cook. I adore you, Mary. It's so fun to see your crib.
Same thing to you, Brad. Listen, I'll tell you what, when we get through this virus and I have that pool open, I'll barbecue up a storm for you.
I'm there. Heck yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, Mary. We love seeing you.
You're welcome.
We'll probably have a couple more questions for you, but let's turn it over to Doug Applegate. Doug, are you there? I see that you're on. If you want to show your webcam and then also your unmute yourself. And a little bit of background here. What I like about Doug, I've had the chance to talk to him a couple of times. I know that he's become good friends with Steve from Motivosity's team. Doug is a brilliant mastermind when it comes to customer success, and he's owned a couple of businesses and is really well connected within the HR space. And so, Doug, we're so honored to have you join us and really excited to see your crib.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. This was fun.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and show us around.
Hey, Steve. All right. All right. I'll do a little tour here. I wanted to just comment, just being on here earlier and seeing some of the other cribs. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna try to do the old MTV style per se, but I will. I'll do my best to kind of show off things, or at least talk through my crib and what we're doing and how we're living in the age of the coronavirus stuff. So let me see if I can flip my camera around. Yeah. There we go. So what you see towards the front of the room, front of the house is our kids' playroom. Kids' playroom. They've got DVDs galore, bean bags. This is also the slash workout room in the morning for me and my wife. We between our bedrooms and this room is where we're trying to spend the kids a lot of time, and even mom and dad. Then we're coming through to our kind of our hallway where it goes into the living room and to our kitchen. Kids are playing Xbox right now. Say hi, kids. I've got 3 kids. Stella, our youngest, she's about to turn 6 in how many days now? 7 days, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting way of doing things, whether it's via Zoom or having people do a parade. Kind of, we've seen those ideas pop up. So we're going to figure out what we're going to do with birthday. And then Avalyn's my oldest daughter. She's hello, say hi. She's 7. Stop. She's 7. And then Rylan, my oldest, is 10. Just turned 10 a couple weeks ago. The last day they were in school, he was his birthday. So they kind of got lucky. You saying hi?
Yes. That's what I'm doing.
He got kind of lucky to at least see his friends for his birthday. Like Stella, it'll be a little bit different. But this is where we spend a lot of our time, in the living room and in the kitchen area. Obviously, a lot of time in the kitchen, probably too much time in the kitchen. You know what I mean? We have dining room area / office. We also have an office in here. My wife's on a call right now, so won't bother her. And then we moved into this house, built ourselves about 6 months ago. So we are still in the phases here in the back patio area that our grass is still coming in, and we're still doing some yard maintenance. And you can see kind of behind our area, they're starting to work on the next phase of our neighborhood. So we're gonna have neighbors soon facing us, so we'll lose some of this view out kind of in the middle of New Pal. And spend a lot of time here now, especially because the weather's here. So I definitely love grilling out. So we've got our Weber there. We'll try to take advantage of as much as we can. And patio, which we're going to get all of our lawn furniture out and all that stuff here soon. Now that the weather's starting to break finally in Indy, at least I hear maybe it'll be snow here next week possibly, but go figure for Indiana. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview of the upstairs. Is the bedrooms, really. So I don't have my own camera crew with me either. So we are trying to enjoy it as much time as we can. Kids just started back to school doing e-learning this week. They had spring break the last 2 weeks, so it was kind of a good timing in that sense. Although we couldn't go anywhere, we really didn't do anything to try and get out of what we might normally do. We just stayed at home, of course, but it was nice to at least have vacation and time, and even more time together. So we're getting on each other's nerves from time to time, but like any family, we have our moments, our good moments and our bad moments. So this is where really the sleeping happens. I'll just leave it at that. And our bathroom area, if you guys want to see that without showing anything, I think I tried to clean up reasonably here, but this is about right. Towels, just kind of hanging out. We love the house. Like I said, we moved in about 6 months ago. We finally got built everything. So we love the area, love the schools, love the neighborhood. And, it's nice being able to settle into the New Pal area. And my wife's from here, and I grew up not too far from here in the Hancock County area. And it's my son's room. He's a big fan of Legos, as you probably can tell. He's getting close to his master Lego builder. I'm pretty sure he is. He's definitely a stickler for the instructions. So that's one thing that we find. He's starting to get into creative phases a lot more, and kind of making his own stuff with what he has. He's got a ton of Lego. So it's one of his pastimes. And he's, again, 10 years old. He has a severe peanut allergy that we found out the hard way when he was just almost 2 years old. So he's had it most of his life that he can remember. We were doing some things with him from a therapy standpoint. Our youngest, this is her room. Let's see if I can try to show a little bit of a spray here. Sorry for my camera work here. Purple's her favorite color, so we've got her walls painted purple, if you can kind of tell. And she got herself a little teepee over there in Barbie house. She definitely enjoys. They play pretty well together for the most part, our two girls. And then Avalyn is our middle child, and she is the mermaid fan. So we've got mermaids and unicorns are her big pastime, I guess you will. She is the artsy and crafty one for sure. She's the creative spirit, which can be good and have its challenges as the free spirit she can be. And then their bathroom area. So we've got the bathroom. This is where all the scrubby dub and teeth brushing and arguing about space on the counters happens for 3 kids all at once. You know, they can't seem to figure out how to work in concert with each other all the time yet. So, and I guess really just take you outside and show a few things to the garage and give you guys the last few bits. And if there's any questions you have or anything that maybe I forget the format of these all the time. So what else I'm supposed to be showing you? I guess I could open my fridge, show you guys. So I think I remember seeing that on some of these cribs where they were just opening it up and showing off all the bottles.
Doug, tell us, as you're heading out there, tell us for a second just about what you do for work.
What's that?
Tell us a little bit about what you do for work as you're heading outside.
Oh, yeah. So as of recently, I was Director of Industry Engagement with 1150 Academy. And unfortunately, that position was ended just 2 weeks ago, in part due to the COVID and coronavirus situation. So I'm currently find myself in transition, but again, timing and try to look at the silver lining of my career of customer success and business management, and helping people try to get connected and be the best versions of themselves, whether that's been as a as sales or customer success, professional, and even as management leadership opportunities. So right now I'm going through some ideas, having some conversations with people, and reaching out to people in my network to see where I can go or what maybe my next steps might be or look like. So there's a few different ideas floating around. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's where we're at with quarantine and our current living. It's nice company to have, but it would be nice to get out and see other people other than just, we do get to walk through the neighborhood. The last few days with it being really nice, being able to see family and friends just walking wise and distance wise. So that's been fun too. Super
Jared,
fun.
I have to say that when I first started with Motivosity, Doug was one of the first guys that I met. We met at a powder keg pitch event, and I was talking to people like, who gets it with culture? Who really understands the people space? Who should I be talking to? And like 4 or 5 people that night said, you got to talk to Doug Applegate. And so I'm looking around, and I think I even went up to Doug and was like, hey, do you know Doug Applegate? It was awesome. And ever since then, we've had several incredible caffeinated meetings. But Doug's an amazing guy, and just a monster in the culture space. It's great to be around.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Well, why don't you show us that garage, and then we'll toss out some questions to everybody.
Sure. I've got a 2.5 car garage. Basically, it's kind of tandem in the back here. So right now like I said, 6 months in, I've got a little bit of storage happening, but we're trying to clean this up so I can actually have working space back there is where I envision, at least, maybe much to my wife's disagreement as far as what is back there versus what I'd like to see back there, maybe 2 different things. And then that's the family wagon. Oh, the family wagon right there is gets us many places, many miles. We just had to put a new battery in it, so she is humming like she is just a smooth moving machine. So
awesome.
Kids love it.
Doug, thank you so much for showing us your crib. And
Yeah.
and so we've got a couple minutes left for those that are able to stick around. And one of the things that I'd like to pose as a question that Mary mentioned is that she just finished her book. And Mary, congratulations. What an awesome accomplishment. And I think there's a lot of people who are in quarantine right now that are able to check off a lot of those items on their list that either they've been wanting to work on or have been working on, and it's allowed them to just facilitate quick growth. What are some of the things that you have been able to do, whether personally or professionally, during COVID-19? We love hearing these success stories and looking for silver lining moments. So does anybody have anything they can share that they've been able to check off their list or been wanting to get to for a while?
Yeah, for me, that was really Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Mary.
Okay. I think about during my 35 years in the hospital